Cool, thank you.
We're at 5733 Buffalo Avenue, Valley Glen, California, performing a video sewer inspection through the 4-inch mainline ABS cleanout right at the front of the house. We're going to attempt to get all the way out to the city sewer from here. The camera lens off a little bit, and this is our 4-inch mainline cleanout. This is our front porch area and the front of the house. We're going to run through here now, take a look at the sewer line. We do have a 4-inch mainline clean out. We do have a 2-way clean out. We're going to run up the line first just to see what we got. See if we can get it up the line. Now we'll run down the line first. We'll run down the line first and take a look. We got ABS plastic mainline clean out. We got a transition right here to clay. 4-inch clay. Got a little bit of a separation offset right there. Got some fairly heavy root intrusion right there in that turn. Got a fairly large offset right here at this point. We're out about 10 feet. Camera will read what's out of the reel as well. We got another large separation right here. And that joint's got a crack. Pipe's got a crack in it just inside the joint. Off to the left at about the 7 o'clock area, and going all the way up we can see to about 11 o'clock because we're in the turn. See right there, it starts inside the joint, and we've got another large separation, and we've got another large crack just inside that hub. And then we drop down. We got a little bit more root intrusion here and some cracks. Got some cracking in the pipe right here again from about the 7 o'clock area to about 11 o'clock. Make that turn. We have some very large root intrusion right here. That's difficult to get past at 30 feet. Then some more root intrusion, and you have a very large offset right there. You can see the whole face of the pipe right there. We're going to try and jump over this if we can. And we're actually underwater right here. Got a belly in that section of line right there, and it's offset as well, and it appears we're dropping down into the 6-inch right here. So we'll mark this area out at 36 feet. Once we get done, we will get all the way into the city sewer hopefully, and then we'll pull back and we'll mark a few areas. We'll mark this 4 to 6 inch transition. That joint looks to be okay. That joint looks to be okay. A little minor root intrusion. Got a little bit of a separation in that joint, but not terrible. No major root intrusion in that joint. A little debris right there, but that joint looks to be good. Kind of clouded up the camera lens right here. We're going to go into the city sewer, hopefully, and then we'll rinse off the camera lens, and then when we pull back, we'll take a better look at it. Make it our turn. Should be dropping into the city sewer right here. And that's our city sewer right there. Connection, our saddle connection. We're in a turn, but from what we can see, that tie-in looks to be okay. And then you have some large slag right here, just an overpour of concrete when they put the joint. That doesn't look too bad. That joint looks to be pretty good. That joint looks to be pretty good. That joint is just offset a little bit. Again, no major root intrusions. No major breaks at that area. Some more slag in that area. Just concrete overpour. That joint looks to be okay. This next joint, we have some major root intrusion in here. We can't really even see the joint because it's pretty much covered up. But from what we can see, it does look like the joint may be offset a little bit. This section of sewer line should be hydrojetted and re-inspected so that we can see this area. Because right now, we can't tell if that joint's broken, if there's a chunk out of that joint of vitreous clay, or if it's cracked, or what the condition is, because the roots are so thick and heavy right there. We're going to run some water. You can see the roots right here. They're pretty thick, and they're holding back a lot of debris. We're going to go in and run some water and see if we can clear this area out a little bit. Maybe we can see it a little bit better. we're just going to wait for this water to subside so we can pull back. Hopefully take a look at the joint. Hopefully we can see a little bit more.
You can't tell me if you have any other offers like they are, so you're not in the office, but you got my email, like, the same email offers coming. I don't get it. So, and then she said, oh, I'm out of the office, I'll just make it, you know. What I need for now, I'll get check, right on the check, the deposit, you know, 10%, whatever our office is going to be. I just need a copy of this. Eventually they're going to want a check and a deposit, so it's going to have to be here's cash, all of that. But it says it on that offer page there at the bottom.
There, we got some roots out in the street just past the curb and let the water subside. Can't tell exactly what condition the joint is in, whether it's maintainable or not. I think it may be. Trying to see if I can pull back a little bit more. It's quite a bit of roots right there. But I can't see the joint well enough to see if it's broken or separated, or just a lot of root intrusion growing through that joint. It's got to be separated to a point or offset or something for the roots to grow in like that. This line should be hydrojetted. Should be hydrojetted and then re-inspect it so that we can see that area. I mean, it's right at the curb. We may be able to get close to tying into that without having to go into the street, but still we're in the right of way. We're in the public works right of way right there. So it gets kind of iffy. So it should be hydrojetted right there. And then we've got, that's the 6-inch. And then coming back up the 4-inch. Some of the joints look pretty good, and then we've got some of them that are just really bad. You've got some cracks in the piping. Show you when I start making a turn back here a little bit.
So what's the best, say it needs repairs, what's the best course of action?
Probably put a liner in it. Right now, this has got a belly in it. Right now this is holding a lot of water. See, once I get past this fitting,
that means there's a bow
there's
in
a
it?
big dip. You see where we hardly have any water in here?
Yep.
Right now? And then the second I get to that fitting, it starts holding water. So we got a big belly in here. And then back a little bit more, we got a lot of roots in the line. I can see them.
Right.
And pipe is really offset. You can see the whole face of the pipe
Yeah,
right there. So that needs to be replaced. There's about 6 or 7 spots along. So to try and spot repair, it's going to be just about the same thing, if not more, than to try and repair these spots as it would to replace it. So it's better to replace this line and then maybe shoot a liner in there. At that point, that line is in good enough shape that you could shoot a liner. So that's out what that would take to do.
Okay.
And coming back through here too, we got, it's kind of hard to see. There's a lot of roots right here. Back in there. We're in a drop, so we got water on the lens. See the roots right there. Got a lot of roots in there. I barely got through this part. I was able to push through. Pretty tough because they're so thick right in that area.
Is that still the old cast iron pipe?
This old clay.
Clay.
Yeah, this is old clay.
Is that out by the street?
No, this is on the property right in here. This is only, this area right now is about 20 feet out from here, right in the middle of the yard. I can mark it if you want me to mark it.
No, I was just curious for my own knowledge.
Yeah, there's like I said, there's about 6 or 7 joints along here
that are not
that have cracks in the piping.
Like that right there?
That one's not too bad. Let's see. This is cracked inside here. If you see right about the 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock area, see where it's all shiny?
Yep.
Right back behind the joint? That's the crack going all the way around. And you can see it's actually bouncing over it.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty well separated right there even. That's broken, and then there's a little piece that's coming apart. Like I said, there's just so many areas in here, 6-inch connection by the curb, that it's not worth trying to repair. Here again, you've got a crack in there and a big separation. You see that big gap?
Yeah.
And here too as well. So the offset, you see the whole face of the pipe to the left. I would just recommend, and here, we have real heavy root intrusion right here.
So that's all roots?
That's all roots right there. I mean, right now you've got about 30% of that, the pipe open from right there. That's just all compacted roots. All the way in there.
You had a party with a couple hundred people here?
Oh, it'd plug up.
That happened at our house, the Green's house when I lived there. So when we first moved in, we had this party, we had like 200 people there. And we didn't, so the house started to flood.
And that concludes the video sewer inspection. Okay. Now we're set up at the back guest house, and we have some piping. We have some 2-inch piping sticking out of the wall that we're not sure exactly where it goes or what it is. We believe it may be tied into a sewer line, possibly. But we're going to take a look and see if we can get down the line, if we can tell anything. Here's our back guest house and our back fence. Then we have a 2-inch ABS line cut off at the wall, and we have one down in the ground. So we're going to chew this one down in the ground. It does appear that it's either stopped up solid or it just goes into some type of a tank. It's pretty hard, and it is full of water right now, and this thing's been cut off for quite some time probably. And my cable is bowing up. They may have buried a tank out here, or maybe even drums. Could be 55-gallon drums, possibly. There's just no telling. We're going to pull it back and just let it settle for a moment to see if tell what we've got. We'll let that settle. I don't know that we can really see anything. We'll let it settle right there for a little bit. we're going to pull back just a little. It does look like we're in some kind of a drum or a tank. That's just going down into something. That's not in a pipe. We're just running into something at the bottom as well. And our camera's just folding up. It's just rolling up inside there. So more than likely that's some kind of a container, maybe with gravel and such around it that it could seep into the ground. I believe there might have been a shower. Piping's generally too small for a toilet, but there's no telling. That's as much as we can tell from running through this 2-inch line at this time.